Seniors, mix apple cider vinegar with baking soda and watch what happens. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, is this just how it's going to be now? The stiff joints, the tired mornings, the energy that slips away before lunch? If that sounds familiar, I want to gently challenge what you've been told about aging. Because what if it's not about getting old, but about your body running out of balance? For over 30 years, I've walked beside older adults who were told to just accept the pain, the fatigue, the brain fog as if that was the price of time. But I've seen another story unfold. Again and again, people who made one small change and began to feel alive again. Today, I'll share with you one of the simplest, most overlooked practices I've seen work using nothing more than two ingredients you likely already have at home. And no, this isn't about magic. It's about giving your body the signal to heal not with more pills, but with ancient, accessible wisdom. So if you're ready to feel good in your body again, gently tap the subscribe button. You're not too old. You're just getting started. Part 1, why most seniors feel tired and stuck. Fatigue isn't just tiredness. For many older adults, it feels like moving through wet cement. Everything requires more effort, even smiling. But what if this exhaustion is not inevitable? What if it's a signal? After age 60, our bodies face subtle but critical changes. Stomach acid levels decline. Muscle mass reduces. Mitochondria, the powerhouses of our cells, slow down. Our ability to clear waste, neutralize acid, and regulate blood sugar becomes less efficient. Most people are never told this. They're just handed another pill. A 2022 report by the National Institute on Aging showed that over 68% of older Americans experience chronic fatigue, yet fewer than 25% receive any metabolic or nutritional screening. That's not neglect. It's a system designed to treat symptoms, not restore function. I remember Clara, a retired teacher from Ohio. She used to say, "I wake up tired and go to bed tired." Her doctors blamed age, but her body wasn't broken. It was overloaded, undernourished, and out of sync. With a few small changes, including one we'll discuss today, her energy returned within weeks, left unaddressed. This exhaustion can become a vicious cycle. Poor digestion, less nutrient absorption. Low nutrients, weaker metabolism. Slower metabolism, more fatigue. And when you're tired, you move less. And when you move less, circulation worsens. Inflammation builds. The mind fogs. The body tightens. You begin to feel like a shadow of yourself. But here's the hopeful truth. The body is always listening, always adjusting, and small, gentle inputs can begin to shift the entire system. That brings us to a foundational question if imbalance is the issue. How do we restore balance? That's where the forgotten power of alkalinity comes in, and it might be the key that opens the next door. Part 2, the forgotten power of natural alkalinity. So, if the problem isn't simply aging, but imbalance, the next logical question is, how do we restore that balance? And here's the surprising truth. Your body already has a built-in system for doing just that through pH regulation. You've probably heard about alkaline or acidic foods in passing, but this goes deeper than any trendy diet. Every system in your body, digestion, circulation, brain function, depends on a delicate pH range, especially in your blood and cellular environment. When we become too acidic, even slightly, things start to go wrong. Enzymes work less efficiently. Inflammation becomes chronic. Subrelatable nutrient absorption declines. Fatigue and joint pain increase. According to a 2019 study in the Journal of Geriatric Medicine, older adults with lower systemic pH, more acidic internal environments, had significantly higher levels of C-reactive protein, a marker for chronic inflammation and early-stage disease. And what contributes to acidity? Processed foods, stress hormones, over-medication, sedentary lifestyle, alcohol, sugar, red meats. Over time, the body's natural ability to buffer excess acid primarily through the kidneys and bicarbonate reserves declines with age. That means we need to consciously support our internal balance. But here's the good news: we don't need extreme detoxes or expensive powders. Supporting your pH can start with something as simple as a warm glass of water with two common household ingredients, which we'll talk about in the next section. I'll give you an example. James, a 67-year-old veteran from Arizona, came to me constantly battling stiffness, brain fog, and sudden mood dips. His labs were fine, but his energy wasn't. I ran a simple pH urine test. He was chronically acidic. With small dietary changes and one gentle alkalizing drink a day, we saw dramatic improvement within a month. He didn't feel young again. He felt clear again. That's the power of rebalancing your inner terrain, not forcing change, but reminding your body how to function smoothly. Alkalinity supports better hydration, smoother circulation, and even improved digestion, all critical for aging adults. Dr. Elaine Mertz, a longevity researcher at Stanford, notes, slight daily alkalization helps older adults reduce inflammation and improve mitochondrial performance. It's a missing piece in most wellness conversations. But how do we safely support alkalinity at home without risking overcorrection or confusion? That's where a gentle, time-tested blend of apple cider vinegar and baking soda comes in. Surprising, right? An acid and a base working together. Let's explore why this combination might be the key to waking up feeling alive again. Part 3, 2 ingredients, 1 gentle shift. It's hard to believe that something so simple could be so powerful. But sometimes the quietest remedies bring the loudest results. In our search for balance, especially alkalinity, we often overlook the everyday items already within reach. In this case, 2 ingredients have stood the test of time: apple cider vinegar, ACV, and baking soda. You might be thinking, wait, isn't vinegar acidic and baking soda a base? Exactly. That's what makes their combination so remarkable. When mixed properly in warm water, these 2 ingredients undergo a soft reaction, neutralizing the harsh edge of the vinegar, creating a gently alkaline solution that is far easier on the stomach than vinegar alone. Let's break it down. Apple cider vinegar, especially organic, raw, and with the mother, contains acetic acid, enzymes, and probiotics. Studies from Harvard Medical School and Mayo Clinic have linked ACV to improved insulin sensitivity, gut motility, and reduced inflammation markers. Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is a naturally occurring alkalizer. It's even used in emergency medicine to neutralize acid in critical care. In moderate daily use, it helps buffer systemic acidity, supporting a balanced pH environment where cells thrive. Individually, they offer benefits, but together they create a functional tonic that supports digestion, eases inflammation, and helps reduce internal stress, especially for seniors whose regulatory systems have slowed with age. Let me tell you about Bill and Maria, a couple in their early 70s from rural Pennsylvania. Bill had been dealing with stiff knees and poor circulation. Maria was experiencing bloating and sleep disruption. Their daughter, a wellness coach, suggested something simple: a glass of warm water with 1 teaspoon of ACV and 1 to 4 teaspoons of baking soda, taken 20 minutes before breakfast. They were skeptical but willing. After 2 weeks, Maria's bloating was gone, and she could sleep through the night. Bill noticed his legs felt lighter, and he no longer dreaded walking out to the mailbox. That's the power of simplicity when it meets consistency. A 2020 review in Integrative Medicine Reports noted that daily use of low-acid alkalizing tonics significantly improved joint comfort, digestion speed, and fatigue levels in adults over 60 within 4 to 8 weeks. No side effects, no dependency, just support. Now, it's important to stress this isn't about replacing your medications or skipping your doctor visits, but it's a gentle companion practice, one that works with your body, not against it. The key: using it correctly, safely, and consistently, which we'll explore in depth later. For now, just know when you give your body something familiar, natural, and balanced. It tends to remember how to heal. This gentle blend has already become a daily ritual for thousands of older adults, a quiet, nourishing way to start the day. But don't just take my word for it. In the next section, we'll meet real people from different walks of life who felt the shift, and you might just recognize yourself in their stories. Part 4, Real Seniors, Real Transformations. It's one thing to hear about the science. It's another to see it come alive in real lives in real bodies, just like yours. What moved me most over the years hasn't been the research papers. It's been the phone calls, the handwritten letters, the trembling voices on Zoom saying, "I didn't think I could feel this good again." These aren't miracle stories. They're stories of seniors who gave their bodies a second chance and discovered that healing is still possible, even after 60, 70, or 80. Take Dorothy, 74, from Wisconsin. Once a high school librarian, now widowed and often alone, her afternoons were marked by bloating, joint pain, and what she called a fog over my head. Her daughter introduced her to the warm ACV and baking soda tonic. "I thought it was silly," she admitted, "but it felt like something I could do." Within 3 weeks, Dorothy's digestion calmed, and for the first time in months, she could sit through an entire meal without discomfort. But more than that, she said she felt sharper again. Her words came easier. Her eyes had energy behind them. Science backs this up. A 2021 study in the Journal of Functional Aging showed that seniors who consistently supported gut health and systemic pH levels reported not only better digestion, but also improved cognitive clarity and mood stability. Or take Harold, 69, a retired firefighter from Texas. He spent his youth in smoke-filled emergency rooms, his body under constant strain. After retirement, the pain didn't stop, it just moved in. His knees ached, his sleep was shallow, and his mornings were sluggish. His wife heard about the ACV plus baking soda blend from a wellness podcast. He rolled his eyes, but she made it anyway. By the end of the first month, Harold wasn't sprinting, but he was moving, with less pain, with more breath. It didn't feel like a miracle. He told me. It felt like me coming back. And then there's May, 78, a grandmother of 6 from Georgia. She'd been diagnosed with prediabetes, acid reflux, and osteoarthritis, and felt buried under her pillbox. She cried one day at the pharmacy, overwhelmed by costs and side effects. A neighbor suggested the ACV and baking soda blend. May started slowly, just a few mornings a week. Over the next 60 days, her blood sugar readings began to stabilize. She was sleeping better. She even danced, yes, danced at her granddaughter's birthday. What do these stories have in common? Not perfection, not overnight transformation, just small, daily choices made with intention, choices that gave their bodies room to remember how to feel better. It's easy to assume that once we lose something, energy, comfort, mobility, we can't get it back. But these seniors proved otherwise. So the question is, what might happen in your body if you gave it the same gentle chance? Next, let's explore how this blend and the internal balance it creates can directly support something that affects nearly every senior: chronic joint pain and inflammation. Part 5, From Pain to Possibility, the Science of Joint Relief. If you're over 60, joint pain isn't just a nuisance, it's a daily reality. The ache in your knees when getting out of bed, the stiffness in your hands that makes buttoning a shirt a struggle, the dull throb that makes you sit down when you used to dance. Most seniors are told, that's just arthritis, and handed a bottle of painkillers. But here's the truth: while aging does affect cartilage, chronic inflammation and internal acidity are often the silent culprits behind your pain, and those can be improved. Let's talk science. A landmark 2018 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that low-grade systemic inflammation is a key driver of joint degeneration in older adults, even more than wear and tear. Elevated levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, and uric acid are commonly found in seniors with persistent joint pain. Here's where apple cider vinegar, ACV, and baking soda make their quiet entrance. ACV, rich in acetic acid and polyphenols, helps the body metabolize excess uric acid, a substance that, when built up, leads to joint swelling and pain. Meanwhile, baking soda's alkalizing effect helps reduce systemic acidity, creating an internal environment where inflammation is less likely to thrive. In a 2020 clinical observation published in Integrative Rheumatology, seniors who drank a daily diluted solution of ACV and baking soda reported up to 30% improvement in joint flexibility and reduced morning stiffness after just 8 weeks. Let's meet George, 68, a retired mechanic from Indiana. For years, he worked on concrete floors. By retirement, his hands were so inflamed he couldn't open a jar without wincing. NSAIDs upset his stomach. Physical therapy helped a little. But it wasn't until he began a morning routine warm water, plus 1 TSP ACV, plus 1 or 4 TSP baking soda, that he noticed real change. It didn't happen overnight, he told me. But one morning, I realized I buttoned my shirt without thinking. That's when I knew something shifted. You see, the body doesn't just age, it adapts. If you reduce what inflames it, support its natural detox pathways, and create a less acidic environment, healing becomes possible. Of course, joint health isn't only about pain relief, it's about freedom. When movement returns, so does your independence, your hobbies, even your confidence. Dr. Rachel Freeman, a geriatric health advisor with 25+ years in clinical practice, said it best: you can't separate joint health from metabolic and digestive health. Everything is connected. Support one, and you uplift the others. Which brings us to our next powerful insight: digestion. Because what's happening in your gut could be feeding your inflammation or calming it. Let's dive deeper into how this gentle blend also helps another common issue for seniors: acid reflux, indigestion, and sluggish digestion. Part 6. When digestion works, everything works. You might be surprised to hear this, but most acid reflux in older adults isn't caused by too much stomach acid, it's caused by too little. As we age, our stomachs naturally produce less hydrochloric acid. This leads to slower digestion, food fermentation, and the uncomfortable pressure that pushes stomach contents upward, what we feel as heartburn. What's the typical solution? Antacids or PPIs. But long-term use can block nutrient absorption, increase infection risk, and weaken bones. What if, instead of suppressing acid, we supported digestion? That's where the ACV plus baking soda blend shines. ACV provides gentle acetic acid and enzymes that stimulate digestion. Baking soda buffers excess irritation, making the drink soothing, not harsh. Consider Elaine, 74, who once slept upright due to nightly reflux. After adding the tonic before dinner for 2 weeks, she noticed less bloating, and within a month, she was sleeping flat again, no pills needed. A study from the American Journal of Gastroenterology supports this, noting natural acid supplementation may improve motility and reduce reflux in older adults when paired with buffering agents like bicarbonate. Proper digestion also means better energy, nutrient absorption, immune support, and less inflammation throughout the body. As Dr. Thomas Leary puts it, an aging digestive system doesn't need suppression, it needs smart support. And when your gut finds relief, your heart often follows. So let's talk next about what this simple blend may do for your circulation and blood pressure. Part 7. Your heart, your breath, your balance. Poor circulation and high blood pressure often sneak up silently. You don't feel them until you do. Dizziness when standing, cold hands and feet, or that slight chest tightness. These are signals your heart is working harder than it should. ACV and baking soda, when combined correctly, may offer gentle cardiovascular support. ACV has been shown in small studies to enhance nitric oxide production, helping blood vessels relax and improve flow. Baking soda reduces oxidative stress and supports alkaline balance, which can ease pressure on arteries. In a 2021 pilot study, seniors who added ACV drinks to their routine experienced modest drops in systolic blood pressure within 6 weeks. Henry, 70, a retired postal worker, added the blend to his mornings, His pressure stabilized. His legs felt lighter. And he said, "My heart didn't feel like it was sprinting anymore." This isn't a replacement for medication, but it can be a gentle tool to ease the burden on your heart. And when your heart isn't overworked, you don't feel so drained. That brings us to perhaps the most overlooked benefit of this simple drink, natural energy. Part 8, reducing fatigue and restoring natural energy. Fatigue in older adults often goes unnoticed, not because it's small, but because it grows slowly. One day you stop gardening. Another day, folding laundry feels like too much. But often, this tiredness isn't normal aging. It's the result of poor digestion, poor circulation, and imbalanced cellular metabolism, especially in the mitochondria, the part of your cells that makes energy. Here's how ACV and baking soda help. ACV provides enzymes, potassium, and gentle acids that support efficient metabolism. Baking soda improves pH balance, helping cells operate in a more oxygen-rich, energized environment. A 2019 study in metabolism and aging linked low-grade acidosis in seniors with decreased mitochondrial output, meaning the body just doesn't spark like it used to. By restoring internal balance, natural energy levels can return. Take Marilyn, 73, a former librarian from Oregon. After an illness, she never fully bounced back. She called it walking through fog. Her daughter suggested the ACV plus baking soda tonic in the morning. Within 2 weeks, Marilyn noticed clearer focus and less afternoon crashing. She even started walking again. "I thought I was just getting old," she said. "Turns out I was just running low on fuel." Energy doesn't always come from caffeine. Sometimes it comes from helping your body do what it already knows how to do when you stop blocking it and start supporting it. Next, let's talk about how to use this blend safely and effectively in daily life. Part 9, how to use it effectively. The real magic of this tonic isn't just in the ingredients, it's in how gently and consistently you use it. Here's a simple recipe most seniors tolerate well. 1 teaspoon of raw, organic apple cider vinegar with the mother. Sharia 1 mar 4 teaspoon of baking soda. 6-8 oz of warm water. Stir gently. Let it sit 30 seconds to fizz. Sip slowly, once daily, ideally 20 to 30 minutes before breakfast or lunch. Why warm water? It's easier on the stomach and helps absorption. Why before meals? It prepares digestion and supports metabolic rhythm. Safety tips. Start every other day if you have a sensitive stomach. Consult your doctor first if you're on blood pressure meds, have kidney issues, or are on a sodium-restricted diet. Avoid combining with antacids or acid blockers. Frank and Dorothy, a couple in their late 70s from Arizona, made it their morning ritual. They'd sip it together on the porch, stretch, then have breakfast. Within weeks, Dorothy's digestion improved. Frank's joint stiffness eased, and both felt steadier in body and mood. "It became more than a drink," Dorothy said. "It became a reminder we still have choices." That's the point. This isn't about miracles. It's about giving your body one small daily nudge back toward balance. Now that you know how to use it, let's bring everything together and reflect on the deeper message behind this gentle practice. As we wrap up, let me remind you of something important. Your body isn't broken. It's trying, it's listening, and it's always ready to respond to care, especially the kind that's gentle, consistent, and real. Over the past few minutes, we've talked about something that might seem small, a blend of apple cider vinegar and baking soda, but we've seen how this simple daily habit has helped people reduce pain, calm their digestion, support their heart, lift their energy, and reconnect with their bodies, not with magic, but with mindfulness. And deeper than that, we've uncovered a truth: you still have power. You can support your health in ways that don't require a prescription pad. You can create small daily rituals that restore your confidence and comfort. You can choose to care for yourself not out of fear, but out of love. So if this message spoke to you, I invite you to start not perfectly, but gently. Try this blend for yourself. Feel what changes. And if it helps you, share your story in the comments. Someone out there might be waiting to hear from someone just like you. And if you'd like more simple, science-backed tips made just for seniors, please tap the subscribe button and join our community. We're walking this path together. Remember, you don't need to feel 25 again to feel alive again. You just need to give yourself a little kindness. Each day, every sip, one small shift at a time. Thank you for being here. You're worth every effort.